I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
The long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece.
Been holding that reaction in since 2014.
He's there to console his friend who he admires so much.
Justin's a good man.
He is incredible. Pure class. Arm in arm with his best man. And overcome with emotion.
How much fun was that yesterday, huh? A go-to guy. How much fun was that? Welcome in. It's the Daily Puck Drop. We are broadcasting live here on Twitter and YouTube. Puck Sports mobile app. I'm inside the Limback Lumber Studios. What an incredible day yesterday if you are a sports fan, especially if you are a golf fan. We'll talk a lot of Rory today. Well, I'll just fuck it. The entire show is going to be about this. The entire damn thing, because that was unbelievable. Limback Lumber Studios. Give a call, 206-782-3487. Visit them online at limbacklumber.com. Follow everything, all the social media platforms, Puck Sports on Twitter, on Blue Sky, Instagram, pucksports.com. Sign up there. You can continue to be in our Puck to Picker Majors pool. Also, sign up to be a Pucks Posse member. And the go-to guy is back here on a Monday. His weekly or his appearance is brought to you by...
Puck, brought to you by a Clean Streak, proudly serving Island and Skagit counties for the last 10 years. Professional window and exterior cleaning service, streak-free window washing, gutter cleaning, roof cleaning, pressure washing your driveway, your patio, your deck, whatever you've got to do. Brian Turner and his crew can do it for you. If you checked out the 5-star reviews, how about this one from Michael DeFrank? On time, professional, courteous, skilled, efficient, and respectful of property. Outstanding service. Call 360-395-5748. That's 360-395-5748 for a free estimate, or visit acleanstreak.com.
All things that describe you. I mean, that review could have just described you. I don't know how we texted, I think, a few times, and then I just stopped texting everybody yesterday. I was an emotional wreck yesterday. I mean, from the get-go watching that. I mean, I sat down around 10 a.m. to watch, the other guys tee off and kind of the build-up for him. I've never met Rory McIIroy. I like him as a golfer. I just wanted him so badly to win that yesterday because of everything that he's meant to the sport of golf. For how many years he's had to answer the same question over and over and over again. Can you win it? You know, what happened 11 years ago? They replay that shot on 10 every single year. He goes up, he goes there. Every time he walks on that property, Every time he drives down Magnolia Lane, he's reminded of 2011. He's reminded by everyone that he's still, it's gone 11 years since he's completed the career Grand Slam, all of it. And he's had to answer it. He's had to wear it for so long. And I was just pulling for him because that has got to be an immense amount of pressure that he has placed on him for a decade more, and that there has been no professional athlete in any sport that has had more pressure on them to win something than him. And I think what he's meant to the game, the way he stood up for the PGA Tour and their battle with Liv, all of it. I couldn't sleep the day before. I was so nervous for him. And then just living and dying on every single shot. I mean, when he doubled one, and I'm watching it with Owen, and I'm freaking out. And he's like, hey, why are you freaking out? They've got like 17 more holes to play. And he's like the parent. He looks at me. He's like, you always tell us in baseball, if we get down 3 or 4 runs, we still got like 8 more innings. We got the whole game to go. We'll be fine. And I'm like, I don't know, but it's over. It's already done. But I mean, once that got over yesterday, Jim, I was exhausted.
Well, yeah, Puck. I mean, I was telling Kathy before Saturday night, I said, I have never been this excited to watch the final round of a golf tournament, whether it's the Masters or the PGA or the US Open, the British Open, whatever. I just was, and I think it's the human element that we can all relate to with Rory McIlroy. And, all of us in our lives, I don't want to get too philosophical here, but you've got challenges and you've got mental hurdles you're trying to overcome, and that feeling when you overcome them, and you also know that feeling when you don't. And so he's, like you said, Puck, he's tried this for 11 years now at Augusta, and he finally came through yesterday. And so that was the part that I just wanted to see. Like, we all like to think, like with Mikey and Stevie, when I'm watching them, one of the things, over the years when they're as athletes, I'm just like, God, I want my kids to be money players. I want them to be clutch. I want them to come through when the spotlight's the brightest. And Rory has done that over and over again. He's won like 28 tournaments or something like that. And he'd already won 4 majors, but he hadn't won one since 2014. And so you still had that. You knew how talented he was, but you still had to wonder, God, is he going to choke? What's he going to do today? Is he going to come through? Like yesterday, if he'd won by 8 shots, that wouldn't have surprised me. And if he had lost by 8 shots, that wouldn't have surprised me either. I was a huge Greg Norman fan back in the day, and I was flashing back to Greg Norman and how he collapsed in the final round of the Masters. And I thought, oh my God, just as one person to another, I don't want to see you fail today, Rory. I just don't. I don't want to see you having to pick up the pieces after another failed attempt at winning the career Grand Slam. And God damn it, he sure as shit tried to fail, didn't he? I mean, I read something today, like somebody wrote, so I think it was Michael Bamberger, SI.com, where he said he had too many blunders in yesterday's round to win the game, or to win. And then he had too many brilliant shots to lose. And that basically summed it up, because he was, and Brandel Chambly, sorry to just keep rambling on, but I was just so excited and just so overcome by the whole thing. Brandel Chambly on Golf Channel was talking about he's never seen a more bipolar round than that. Because usually when you're going great, the whole day is pretty good for you. And usually when you're going bad, the whole day is going bad for you. Well, he had good and bad. It didn't matter from one shot to the next, one hole to the next. I mean, that shot that he hit on 13, Jesus fucking Christ, are you kidding me? And Kathy was like, oh, give him a break, God, he's Rory McIlroy. He's out there trying. I go, yeah, I know he's trying, but I would have even known to hit it left. You hit it left there to make double sure that you
everybody knows to hit it left.
I mean, you use the slope. He's got a 90-yard shot, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? It was just ridiculous.
I fell out of my chair because at that moment, he had seized control of the tournament. It was his. It was his turn. Well, he was up 4, but then Rose. I want to know, because Rose, remember, had birdied. He'd lost 3 shots there on that hole, but he played it perfectly. Because I know, even though they came back later and said, "Well, do you think he regrets hitting driver?" I'm like, no, that's Tiger. Tiger would have done the same thing. Tiger would have looked at where he was, because he knew where he was at leaving 12. You've been there. You know, I think they showed on TV, there's a massive leaderboard on 12. He walked off that 12th green, he saw it. He knew where he was at. And so he knew he had played it out. If I have a lead, probably of certain amount, I'm hitting 3-wood here. And he hit a perfect 3-wood. He hit a perfect second shot. You couldn't have laid it up better where he laid it up at, because it sets it up for him to hit it left, and then because it slopes to the creek, and it will just funnel down. What he did on his penalty shot, that's what he should have done. And so you're thinking, oh, this is great. He's gonna birdie this hole. He's gonna be up 4 at this point. Gravy. This is all. He's gonna walk it in. And it's going to be the coronation of walking up to 18, tears coming down his face, all of it. And when he did that, and I kind of was half paying attention, I fell out of my chair. I'm like, what in the God's name just happened? I've never, ever seen a professional golfer probably hit a worse shot than that. A worse shot. And then to follow that up with the greatest 7-iron I've ever seen in my life on 15. I just don't think people, if you're not a golf fan, appreciate what he did on 15. Where he's at, the fact is, and you can hear it on the broadcast, but I'll go through it again. He had to take an iron, he took a 7-iron. He had to hit the shot in a way that he had to keep it low to start, because it had to get under the tree. Okay? Then he's got to somehow swing it in a way that once it goes low, it's got to go high, because now he's got to get it up over the water, and he's got to turn it right to left. He's got to draw it in. I mean, in the situation he was in, the fact that he had just done what he did at 13 and then 14, by the way, right? Because he bogeys 14, and for him to come back on 15 and hit, he didn't even mention that as his best shot, by the way, from the round. To me, it was 15 and 17 were just diabolical. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a round of golf where a guy has been so up and down and just hit shots that I've never seen before. 17. How about the shots? I mean, I went through it again today. I watched every shot again today, because the Masters app, which is the greatest app ever, you can go and watch every single shot he had today. And, when he's the shot on 5 out of the pine straw, I mean, how many times was he blocked by trees? They'd shout, they have the camera angle, right? Dottie Pepper's done it. Yeah, Jim, I don't, doesn't have much of an angle here, but he's going to go up and over the tree. And you're looking at, like, the camera pans back, right, Jim? And you're probably like me. Where's the fucking opening? I don't see anything. And then all of a sudden he whacks it, and you're like, it's going to hit the tree. And then all of a sudden the ball comes down. It's on the green. And you're like, what in the hell? God's name is happening. He did that on 5. He did that on 7. Remember the one on 7?
The one where he was laughing at himself about, like, he couldn't believe how it came out.
It's just unbelievable. He rolled it. He almost hit the flag. It's just stupid. It was stupid what he was doing yesterday.
Well, yeah, and you know what? If I'm a listener out there who's a casual golf fan, or never gets excited about golf, and I can't believe these guys are rambling on the way they are about what a great round Rory McIlroy had, I will just tell them that it was. I mean, even for you and I who have been watching golf for years, it takes a lot, for us to go over the top with our analysis here. But I mean, it was just unfucking believable. It was just the
never seen anything like it.
The whole day. I mean, they always talk about, the tournament doesn't start until the second 9 at the Masters. We going, yeah, right.
Yeah, but we make fun of that, but it's true. That thing is damn true.
Justin Rose was 7 shots behind going into the final round. He shoots a 75 on Saturday, and everybody, at 65, Justin Rose, great first round leader story and all that. God, can he win a green jacket and everything else? And then, then he seemingly shot himself out of it on Saturday. And then you got all of a sudden, here's Justin Rose walking off the 16th green, and he's either tied or ahead. And he was tied, tied at 16 when he
birdied 16, and that was when Rory had the double.
Yeah, and Rory just is in the process of bringing everyone back in the tournament. I mean, Ludwig Oberg, I mean, he was right there too. He could have won the damn tournament. It was open to everyone. And I guess the most surprising thing yesterday wasn't that Rory was up and down, because we've seen that before. And we've also seen him. And wasn't it just typical of Rory too, to hit that shot on 15 like you're talking about?
And then miss the eagle.
We've ever seen in our lives, that's top 5. Easily top 5.
It's one of the, I mean, Jim, I'll be honest with you.
The way the ball landed, and then even drew toward the hole, once it landed.
I think with everything on.
But Puck, isn't that typical of Rory to step up to that? Like, you have to fucking make that eagle putt after you hit a shot like that.
Yeah, and he misses
it. And then he doesn't.
Yeah.
But then that's Rory. That's Rory. Like, when he stands over a 4-footer, I'm thinking, damn, I might have as good a chance to make this as he does. I mean,
I think the shot on 15, Tiger's chipping in, is that 08? Tiger or 05? When 16? No. It's chip in from on 16. What year is that? Why am I blanking on the year? Whatever. Tiger's chip in.
Yeah.
Those are the two.
Nike logo just before it made the last turn, before it would go in the hole.
I think with the circumstances on the line at that moment in those two situations are the two greatest shots I've ever seen there. Just that I've ever seen. I wasn't watching Jack and this putt and all that back then, but I wasn't, I was 10 or 9, but they're just the greatest shots. But you're right. That's the McIlroy experience. It's because when he made it, you're like, all right, you got to get eagle now. And then he doesn't get eagle. It's a letdown, right? He gets a freaking birdie. I mean, you're like, Jesus. And then they go to 16, and then it's not in the traditional, pin, which, that bummed me out. I like it where it's at on 16. I think it brings a lot more excitement than where it was. I know they were honoring Jack Nicklaus, and that's great. And I totally understand that, but it needs to be in the traditional pin placement, whatever. But he hits a great shot there. It's a wonderful shot in there. And then 17, he's blocked by the tree. Oh, no, he's not blocked by the tree. But he was so indecisive. Go back and watch how indecisive he was on that shot on 17. He steps up to it. He steps back. He checks his yardage book. He checks it again. I think he may have switched clubs, and he went back to the original. Like, he was all over the place. And you're thinking, oh, my God, I was screaming at my TV, just get away from the ball, because you're going to shank it. And then he hits it, and then you immediately watch his body language. I'm like, oh, my God, he put in the trap.
Yeah, he thought it was going to be short.
Yeah. And he didn't.
And then he rolls it up to, 3 feet?
Yeah, the tap-in birdie, and he's got the lead going to 18. You're like, and then you're just like, just hit it in the middle of the fairway. He does. You could have asked for a better tee shot. He's, 125 yards away? That is gravy for these guys. I mean, gravy. And he steps up there. All you're thinking is, hit it up. Don't hit it too far. Hit it just enough where it rolls back. And then he hits it. And when he starts leaning to the right, I'm like, this son of a bitch. He's going to hit it in the trap. And he did. And you're like, oh, my God. Nothing's easy with him.
No, I mean, he blocks it out in the trap, and then he hit a nice shot to 5 feet. And when he was standing over it, I thought, well, surely he's going to make this. I mean, they kept showing Rose on the practice tee, hitting shots. I'm like, that's cool, Justin, but you're probably not going to happen for you today. And then, then he just whiffed on the putt.
Oh.
How many times has he had that putt? He knows how that ball breaks.
It was just like last year at Pinehurst. It was the same putt. Almost the same putt.
And then, Chambly was talking about it today, too. Like you're saying, 125 yards on 18. He puts it out in the trap on the right, and he has 125 yards in the playoff, and he just hits it stiff. He plays the slope, brings it down to 3 feet where even he can't miss it.
And we all probably thought once he missed it, on 18 in regulation, I'm thinking that's it. There's just, how do you go back? How do you go in there, walk through that crowd, sign your scorecard, and then go, all right, let's head back to 18 and do it all over again? And I thought, there's just no way. There's no way he's going to be able to hit that same drive again, which was the best drive. That's like the best drive I've ever seen. Because remember, he was terrible with his driver yesterday. He was terrible. He hit one fairway on the front. He was awful. He couldn't get that thing. He couldn't get that club in the fairway. You're thinking, can he do it again? And then he had to wait. He had to wait so long there on 18 anyways. I don't know why Justin Rose couldn't get over there sooner, why it took him so long to get from the practice green over to the 8. He sees that he missed it. You're in the playoff. Get it your ass over there. I think there was some gamesmanship by Justin Rose to make him sit and wait on it for a little bit. That's what I think. But anyways.
So, but I would think I agree with you. I think going into the playoff that Justin Rose had to be more confident than Rory, because Rose is coming off what did he shoot yesterday? 66. I mean, he had a great round.
Yeah.
He was terrific on the back nine. God, he was just draining putts left and right. And so for Rory to come through, given the circumstances, it was just sensational golf. The drama, everything, the changing leaderboard. The most surprising thing to me, though, was that Bryson DeChambeau wasn't involved in it. He was involved early, and in fact, he took the lead after the second hole. And then everything just went south for Bryson. That was surprising. I think it surprised him, too, because, I mean, Bryson going into the final round, you figured, okay, he's going to give Rory all he can handle today. And then I didn't know how Rory would handle playing with Bryson because, Rory's a crowd favorite, but Bryson plays to the crowd. I'm not sure if Rory's all that into that kind of thing, but boy, it just didn't work for DeChambeau yesterday.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, in 2 holes, it's already I can't even remember now. I mean, it's
DeChambeau was up 1 after the second hole.
That's right, up 1 even, and you're like, oh my God, it's already gone. It's already gone. I mean, his lead, he hit it in the trap there on 1, and then he gets out. He hits a double bogey. It's the bunker, a bunker again. I think he's off the bunker again at 2. I mean, he was just all over the place.
Well, Saturday.
Excuse me. And then the third.
Everybody knows this, but just, maybe some people don't. So on Saturday, he birdies number 1 and he eagles number 2. So he scores a 3 and a 3. And yesterday, 6 and 5.
Yeah, it's
same guy, 11 shots on those 2 holes. The day before, 6 shots on those 2 holes. And he had Chambly. I love Chambly. He was talking about today. Rory McIlroy in the Masters this year had 30 threes on his card. 30 threes. And on Saturday, he opened his round with 6 straight threes. It was just, the guy's just phenomenal. He's just, anybody who thinks golf is boring to watch, check out Rory McIlroy in any given tournament. I don't even care if it's a major. I mean, this guy can be all over the place, and he hits those hero. He can hit shots that we hit sometimes, and then he hits these hero shots where you're going, "Oh my God, I've never seen anything like that."
I think what he did yesterday, it transcends, whether or not you like golf, right? Because there's a lot of people watching and listening to this, whether it's live or later. They don't like golf. They're like, it's boring, whatever. I talked yesterday, we taped our latest Sports Pit edition with Stretch and Sandmeyer. And like Stretch, for example, Stretch's a huge soccer fan. Like Sandmeyer and I are like, I don't care for soccer. It's not my thing.
Right.
But there was a parallel, at least a comp that I brought up to Stretch yesterday. By the way, that Sports Pit available for all Puck's Posse members, just $5 a month, and you can listen to the full hour of that. It was 3 bourbons deep. I'll tell you that one. Taping of the Sports Pit yesterday night. But he's a huge soccer fan, and I brought it up to the last World Cup, which I think was 2023, I believe. I could be wrong on that one. Maybe it was 2022. I tuned in for the finals of the World Cup, not because I'm a huge soccer fan. I don't care anything about soccer. But Argentina was playing in the final. And the reason I tuned in is because you've heard of Lionel Messi, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he is considered one of the all-time great soccer players in the history of the sport. What has avoided Lionel Messi? A World Cup. And that's all for separating from him from being an all-time great is winning that. Because he hadn't won it, country hadn't won it, and that was missing from the Messi mantle, was that. And so I tuned in that day to watch it because I wanted to see someone who, again, I don't follow closely, but I understand the history, where he stands in the annals of soccer greats and what has eluded him. And that title has eluded him. And it's the sport's biggest title. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to watch that. I want to watch that because I want to see one of the all-time greats, see if he can, win something that has been so far out of reach for him. And it was great theater. Even someone who's not a soccer fan, it was great theater. I loved watching it. And I loved his emotion, during the match and then especially, after they won it. You don't got to be a soccer fan to appreciate that. You don't have to be a golf fan to appreciate what you saw yesterday. That was real, raw emotion on 18. That's a guy that has been carrying baggage for a decade, that he felt he was so overcome that he dropped to his knees and just cried because he's been wearing and wearing that for his entire life. He's had to listen to the same stuff over and over and over again. A lot of pressure on him. And I think these athletes, these world-class athletes, I am, and you probably are as well, so amazed how they can do this because they're nervous. Just as you and I are nervous, they are. He admitted it yesterday. He couldn't feel his legs on number one. He didn't eat all day because he was so nervous to tee it off. I think it just shows you how much of, humans they are. They're not robots. And so, his reaction on 18 is I think how many people would have reacted. And I think that, again, that transcends anything, any sport.
Well, and CBS did a terrific job. I know how you're against, too much talking. Just let the moment carry itself. And Jim Nantz did a great job of just staying out of the way. That whole time when Rory was on his knees and sobbing and then, hugging his wife and his little girl and then Shane Lowry and the whole line, Nantz hardly said a word, which was perfect. It was just absolutely perfect. We just needed the picture. We could see the emotion. We could feel it. We didn't need anyone saying, "Oh man, look at Rory," And I don't know about you, Puck, but I there was a part of me that's like going, God, Rory McIlroy, successful guy, making millions of dollars and plays professional golf for a living. How can I tear up over a guy winning a golf tournament? And I did. I had tears in my eyes, and I'm just like going, it's that human element though you're talking about. It didn't have to be golf. It could be soccer. It could be whatever. But to see a guy finally and think about what he's gone through, dream come true for him, and for him to finally do it, it was sensational. It really was. And, I didn't realize how polarizing Rory McIlroy is. There was a guy on Twitter yesterday that kind of ran a poll that just said, if you like McIlroy, why do you like him so much? And if you don't like him, why don't you like him? And he had just a long list of people coming in going, God, I love Rory. And then some other people are like, he's a frickin' whiner. I can't stand him, But even the people who don't like Rory McIlroy yesterday had to admit that was a hell of a final moment and a hell of a way of, it was just typical of him to win the tournament and finally end the jinx and get rid of those demons the way he did it, because it wasn't going to be easy. It should have been like you're saying, going into 13, he should have had a walk in the park up 18 and everybody applauding and Rory crying while he's going to the green. But anyway, it was just, I just couldn't get over how terrific the whole event was and how it finished.
It just, it's why it's I don't know for you, it's why it's my favorite event of the year. I look forward to it every year. I can't wait for it. I'm so sad that it's over. It doesn't last long enough. The whole week, I'm all in. I'm in from day one.
Puckett, sorry to interrupt you. It's not just the drama, but it's the only major where we know the holes. We know the holes. They play different courses every year at every other major. At the Masters, you say, hey, what do you think of number 6? And you go, oh, you mean the downhill par 3? You can't do that with any other tournament. So we have a familiarity which helps, because you get to know the greens, you get to know the fairways, the slopes, everything. You have a good idea. Hey, at 10, you got to make sure you draw it there. It's just, I think that adds to the enjoyment of it.
And I think for him too on 10, how much, and then that's why I think when he completed 10 and he got out of there with a birdie there on 10, I'm thinking, all right, it's over. He's won it. Because if people don't remember, in 11, when he was 21, that's where he blew up, was on hole number 10. That's where it all fell apart for him. He hit it so far right. He hit it into cabins that no one I didn't even think existed out there. And that's when he shot it on his way to an 80. And he blew at that point. Well, and since then was his best shot to win it. And for him to hit because you got to know, even at 35, he walked up to that hole and thought, and had to for a split second think, man, I remember being here in 2011. And but you got to flush it right away. But he steps up and he hits a perfect shot. He hits a perfect second shot. His club flies out of his hand. You think he gets hurt, and then he birdies the damn thing. And you're thinking, okay, it's going to happen now. He slayed finally that one last demon.
Well, how about at 11 though? When he kind of put it to the right, and so you're thinking, okay, well, I saw him hit a hero shot at 7, at 5, and maybe he's going to do it again. Maybe he'll take on the pin over there and say, screw it. I know there's water left, but I'm all
sure.
Right.
Damn, you're winning the water.
Hit a feathery draw in there, and I'll be fine. And so, but he actually tried to play it safe, and then he hits it out, and you're watching the ball, and you're going, damn, I know there's a right to left slope there,
and it hit the mound,
and I know there's water over to the left. He came, Puck. What did he come within a foot or two?
Maybe less, maybe 6 inches. 6
and
more inches, and that
when
thing's
you're
in
trying to play a safe shot like he was there, and then to almost screw it up.
And you're thinking at that moment, that's like Fred Couples in '92 when he won, right? The ball holds up on 12, and you're thinking, all right, is it 12 or 13?
Fred was at 12.
Fred was at 12. So you're like, all right, the ball holds up. It's your day. When that happens, it's your day.
Yeah, and then Bryson goes in the water on top of you there.
Yeah, Bryson goes on top. Yeah, and so what did you make of Bryson post match where he just bitched and moaned that he didn't talk to him all around?
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that. Is that what he said about Rory?
Yeah, bitched and moaned about. Well, he didn't talk to me. I don't know. Well, because somebody asked him, "Hey, you saw him in the scores tent after you guys finished, and he's going to go out to playoff. Did you chance to talk to him?" He goes, "Nope, didn't talk to me all day long." And they're like, "All right, well, can we?" And then another question, and then he followed up, and he said, "What do you mean you guys didn't talk all day long? Was there no conversation?" "Nope, it's nothing. He didn't talk to me all day long, and I tried to say something, but he didn't want to, and so whatever." I just thought he comes off as, I'll be honest, I'm a DeChambeau fan, and really at the U.S. Open, I like how he's kind of transitioned himself to be this. He was kind of unlikable, and then he kind of a YouTube star now, and he's been more popular with fans. I think the way he interacts with fans is great. High fives. I think more golfers should do that. I think you give back a little bit more, play to the crowd. I think it was great. He came off, honestly, as a real ass yesterday, a real ass in that post-match press conference. It's not Rory McIlroy's job to fucking talk to you. He's trying to win a major. He doesn't need to hey man, what are you doing after this? It's and I would say to Bryson, maybe you should have been less talkative. Maybe you should have been less involved with the fans because you fell apart. Absolutely fell apart in that thing. And if you go back and watch it, there's a real phoniness to him in that post-match press conference. A real phoniness to him. And I don't know. He rubbed me the wrong way afterwards. And it was such weird because he'd made this whole kind of, career arc turn and just kind of not all flushed it away yesterday because it's 25 minutes after he just blew it. So give him some grace, and he's got a lot of emotions going on. But him being so upset that Rory didn't talk to him is like 6th grade shit.
Yeah, I agree with that last part you said, though. Frustration.
Yeah.
And so, maybe he would, if he had the press conference today, he wouldn't have said what he said. He was just bitter about losing and not playing well. Saying something that he wish he could take back now, perhaps. And I think you're right, though. Bryson is good for golf. I wish he was still on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, so do I.
I miss having a guy like that. I think you need guys like that to get more younger people interested in watching golf.
Young people love him.
The thing that he did when he finally got a hole-in-one hitting it over his house, the YouTube videos and all that. It just attracts more people to the game. And it was too bad that he didn't really, hang in there till the end, because that's what I figured. I figured that there'd be a duel between Bryson. Everybody thought that. Bryson and Rory down the stretch. It's going to be sensational golf.
Yep.
It didn't turn out that way.
Well, let's not bury the lead because he wasn't the only big winner yesterday. Did you really claim $9,000 on Rory's win yesterday? Let's take it. First of all, congratulations. I mean, that is a day. $9,000. How do we get to $9,000? Walk us through it all. And if you're the IRS, you can turn it off.
Yeah, it's God, I don't even know how to. I've never had a gambling day like that before.
That was the best gambling day you've ever had. It has to be.
Far and away. And I want to thank Mike Jenkins. He's a guy that lives down here in Bend. And
thanks, Mike.
He sent me this, Masters pool. He goes, "Hey, you want to enter this pool? It's $50. Here it is." It was like a Wednesday night. I'm out in the yard, and the day before the Masters, I'm like, what the hell? So I filled it out, and you pick. And Puck, you know how these pools work, but there's probably a lot of listeners who don't. It's based on world rankings, and they'll have Group A, Group B, and Group C. And so you got to take, one golfer from Group A, one golfer from Group B, and one golfer from Group C. In this one, you can take 5 golfers. You take 3 golfers from the Group C, and then, you take the best 3 out of your 5 is how it works. So anyway, I happened to take Rory in Group A, Justin Rose in Group B, and Patrick Reed in Group C. And everybody hates Patrick Reed, but let me tell you something. When Patrick Reed knocked it in from 17 from the fairway, which gave me the win in this pool.
Yeah, he loves Augusta. He's great at there. Yeah. He's awesome.
And so, I mean, there were 600 people in this pool that paid $50 each. So that's $30,000 that's in the pot. And the winner gets 25% of that, which is $7,500. And the winner was some guy who had his name Pack 2 for life. That would be me, Pack 2 for life. And God, I won the thing by 3 shots.
Good for you. So all $9,000 is from that one pool?
No, 7,500 from that. I had 100 on Rory at 6.5 to 1, and then I bet in the second round when he was 11 to 1, I put 10 on that. So that was another 100. And then, big voice guy from KJR, I'm probably going to get him in trouble, Vic Orlando.
Why are you going to get him in trouble? You're in Orlando's golf pool?
I don't know. I was in Orlando's golf pool, and that was a $20 entry fee. I don't know how many people were in it yet or how much I won there, but I'm assuming it's probably 700 or 800.
You know what? I'm in that pool every year, and I think about it. Vic didn't send me that email this year. Oh. Why did I get I got blackballed from Vic Orlando's golf pool. I've been in that thing since, now that I thought about it, I've been in that thing since 2003. Oh.
Why would he blackball you? I mean, I was the one who got fired. You quit.
I don't know. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate it. Son of a bitch.
Well, you would have just lost $20 to me because in that pool I had Rose and Rory and Reed in that one too.
God
and I love the fact that I took Patrick Reed and how well he played yesterday because everybody fucking hates Patrick Reed.
Everybody does hate him. Well, he is a cheater.
Can't stand him. He went to live. Patrick Reed is a hell of a golfer.
Oh, he's a great golfer. I wish he was still on the tour. I mean, I want them all back.
You need a villain out there.
Of course, I want all those guys. $9,000. All right, so I saw your video yesterday. You be careful what you blow it on. Should we put some of this away? You're going to blow it immediately. What are you going to buy with $9,000?
Oh my God! Well, the first thing I want to do is take Mike Jenkins out to dinner. He and his wife. I don't even know Mike. But he's been helpful down here. He's given us a handyman, a plumber, an electrician to use, that kind of thing.
How did you get introduced to Mike?
I don't know exactly, but he listens to the podcast.
Oh, and so you became friends with him based on this.
Somehow got a hold of me through that.
Well, I think something needs to. Hey, don't you think something needs to come a little my way since we put you on here? Maybe
I also need something from you because I told Mike we're going to go to Boss Taurus for dinner, and your buddy runs that place, and I'd appreciate a deal if I could.
There's going to be no deal.
There's going to be no deal.
There's no deal.
Deal or no deal?
I can't get a deal there. You can't get a deal. There's no deal. There's not. And first of all, if it's going to cost you $9,000 to go there anyways.
Yeah, but I really feel like, like Kathy said, hey, we could pay some bills with that. I'm like, fuck that. We're not going to pay bills with money that I just won on a golf tournament.
That would be what a smart person would do.
I've got this Cougar room set up in here, and I'm going to have, a big screen on one wall, a smaller screen back here. I want it to be like a little mini sports book, so I'm going to spend money on that. I'm going to get an outdoor TV and try and have, the Puckett outdoor experience.
Wonderful. You'll love it.
Pergola action out there.
Yeah,
And
best
then
thing
I'm
ever.
also thinking about putting in a putting course, although you're telling me that it probably costs a little too much to do that.
$9,000's not going to cover
and then
that.
Mikey and Stevie, they turn 21 next week. I want to have a birthday party they'll never forget. Yeah, I'm gonna. But my goal is to blow it all. I don't want it. I don't want it to be on anything meaningful, like college education or any of that shit. No,
Bills.
I'm gonna blow it on me. And I just want to say one more thing about that since you brought it up. I mean, everybody always thinks I'm such a fucking loser when it comes to making gambling. Like I've lost a bunch of money to you, and like my smoking lock of the week would usually lose. Well, fuck off, okay? I won $9,000 yesterday, so I'm not always shitty. And in this pool where there were 600 people, there were 599 people that I was smarter than. Okay,
right.
I just want to say that.
Okay, so you want a pat on the back?
Oh God, yes. Fuck, get both hands. Keep patting, man.
What happens?
I'm gonna gloat till the cows come home.
What happens when Palouse Ridge calls in the next day or two and says, "Hey, hey, Mr. Moore, we have the final bill on the damages to the golf cart. Unfortunately, we're going to have to replace the golf cart. It's going to cost you $6,500."
Well, I thought you were going to say $9,000, which it could. No, I'm going to talk to Jeremy today. In fact, after we're done here, I'm going to give him a call. He called me, and I don't think he has an estimate yet on the cart, but yeah, I know I'm going to take accountability for that. And the big screen TV, the putting course, the outdoor TV, all of it goes away and goes to Palouse Ridge if Jeremy needs that money. Because
come on, Jeremy.
I was the one who screwed up by flipping that cart a couple weeks ago.
Jeremy, don't do it.
Yeah, I want to take the responsibility for that.
Don't make him pay, Jeremy. Come on, Palouse Ridge.
Yeah.
Collateral damage.
And then like these people out there like, oh God, the IRS is going to come after you. And I'm like, okay, if the IRS comes after me, I'll pay income tax on it or whatever. But shit, the IRS, don't they have enough shit going on? That
I don't think there's any more. I don't think anybody else is.
Let's check out this Masters pool out of Seattle, Washington. Why don't we do that? Because
here
the winner should have to pay taxes on that.
First of all, I think they fired everybody in the IRS, so I think you're okay. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's anybody checking.
Hey, way to go! Thanks, Elon.
I think he's fired everybody, so I think you're actually. This may be the time where that whole thing benefits you. I don't think that anybody's going to be looking at how much money that you won. We'll just have the guy pay in cash. Walk up there and get cash. It was just an incredible day. I mean, he joins.
Well, didn't you win too? What you had?
Oh, I did. I won. Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what'd you win?
Well, I had $100. I had $100 at 6-1, so it won a little bit. Not as much. Not $9,000.
That's not a little. $600 is not a little.
Not $9,000 though. Now, when you bet on him, I want to be clear. Did you bet on him on your app down there?
I bet on him on
the offshore one. Okay.
DraftKings, and then there's another site I'm on now called Rebet. People should check out Rebet.
But is it
the kid from Eastlake High School is involved in that?
Does it pay you?
I mean, he's not in high school anymore.
Hey, Jim Moore is in a betting app being produced and operated by a high schooler. Hold on. And of course it's Eastside Catholic. Can you win real money on this thing, or is it crypto?
No, it's real money.
Okay, perfect. And this is legal?
Well, shit, I don't know. I think so.
What's the place? What's it called again?
Rebet.
Okay, Rebet.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it right now. Old Rebet. Well, that's awesome, man. You, Rory, everybody. What a great day.
Well, no, and the thing is too is that some people probably be like, well, of course Moore thought it was great because he won $9,000.
Well,
if I had nothing on that tournament yesterday, it would have been just as fun. It really would have been.
Yeah, it just made it better.
Well, here's the other kicker. Like, some guy was like, God, you're lucky Rory pulled that out in the playoff. And I was thinking, yeah, not really, because get this, Puck. So I had $4 on Justin Rose going into the tournament at 100-1 odds. Okay, so I'd have won 400. Yeah. And then I looked at his odds after the third round, after he shot 75. I mean, I know he was 7 shots back, but he was 250-1. I put another $4 on that.
Wonderful. So you're going to win.
It would have been better for me if Justin Rose had won, because I'd have won, I don't know, 1,300, 1,400 on him.
Well, I mean, not well. Yeah, I mean, but in the long run, you benefited from Rory winning.
Yeah. But I still would have won both pools.
Oh, that's right. You still would have won both pools because you had Rose. Yeah, I see your point. I see. It would have been. Yeah, you're right. You would have won more if Rose won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was still kind of pulling for Rory. I mean, money doesn't mean everything to me. I mean, clearly, I was a sports writer for years and worked in sports radio. Shit, I didn't make that much in my career, but no, I was still that human part of me was thinking, God, it'd be cool to see Rory do it.
Well, he joins, one of the most exclusive club in golf now. Him and Sarazen, Hogan, Player, Jack and Tiger, first major winner since Tiger in 2008 to win a tournament with 4 or more double bogeys. First time anyone in the history of the Masters has done that. First European to win the Grand Slam. These are first European to reach 5 majors since Nick Faldo. And then ties the largest first-round deficit ever by a Masters champion at 7 shots back. And here's the crazy thing is you let your mind wander right now for the rest of the year with him.
Because I was just going to ask you about that.
Because I do believe this for him. And they probably talked about it last night, Chambly, and those. That was great last night. I mean, that was like 3 hours last night live from. I mean, they had the full press conference. They had Jack Nicklaus on. They had Ben Crenshaw on. They had Brad Faxon on. And then they had to get Faxon off because he kept talking. But, I mean, he was on there, and Faxon is Rory's putting coach. I mean, they had everybody on last night. But I do believe at his age, just imagine, I think this frees him up. I think you have a chance for him to go on some incredible run right now. Because think about all the majors he's been close to winning. He should have like 9. Because recently, last year's U.S. Open, the British Open in which he lost to Cam Smith, and then the U.S. Open that year in L.A. I mean, those are 3 right there that he easily could have won. Easily. And then look where he's going now. PGA Championships at Quail Hollow. He dominates Quail Hollow, unlike anybody else in the history of the sport. He's like 1 shot better. I mean, I was looking at this up today. Justin Ray, who does a great job, had all these stats. He's 102 under par there. That's the next bet. He's 55 strokes better than the next person. Like, he dominates there. So he wins that. He's gonna be a favorite. Then he goes to the U.S. Open. It's going to be played at Oakmont. He sets up perfectly for Oakmont. He's long, hard. He's out of that rough. He'll be fine there. And then, can you imagine? Just set the scene here for a second. Dare to dream, like the Gras would say. He wins the Masters, or he already has that. Let's say he gets the PGA. He'll be the overwhelming favorite at the PGA because of his track record at Quail Hollow. He gets the U.S. Open done at Oakmont. The fucking British Open is at Royal Portrush. That's in Northern Ireland. Can you imagine him walking in there with all the majors and going, the career Grand Slam? He'll do it. No one's ever done it in the season, ever. I mean, that would be bananas.
It's funny you bring that up. God, we think alike sometimes. I don't know how that works, but I was thinking about that last night. It's like, yeah, I'm with you on that freeing up of Rory after winning the Masters now. And so it's like everything else is gravy. Like, God, I could just relax. He's not going to be there on the first tee at Quail Hollow and go, God, I'm really nervous, No, he has nothing to be nervous about anymore.
No.
And if he could pull off the Grand Slam in one single season. Now, Tiger won 4 in a row, but it was over 2 seasons.
Yeah, that doesn't count to me. I mean, I know they count it. They call it the Tiger Slam, but no one has ever won it in the same season, ever done it. And if he were to do it, and can you just imagine if he gets to the last one just because of where it's at? The fact that it's there of all places.
Oh, he'll be, yeah, it sets up for him to do it.
It does.
Although it sure looks like old Scotty, he's kind of coming back. He's getting back in his groove from last year.
He'll be
Scotty
fine.
could have almost won that thing yesterday.
Of course.
He looks like he's going to be, back to where he was last year pretty soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Bryson will be there. I mean, all the players will be there. Ludwig will be there despite 18. Jesus. That 18th hole for him. That was painful to watch.
There?
I don't know. That was painful. That was a hard watch.
God, he was just going back and forth, back and forth,
Yeah.
back and forth.
That was a hard watch. But, yeah, it was I mean, I just don't think I've ever experienced another sporting event like that did not involve, a team that I love. I just have never – the wave of emotions and going up and down like that. And, for golf, it's so long. You're just like, God, it was exhausting. I mean, I was worn out. Like, I think after I fell to the ground. I was so damn exhausted. Can you imagine being like someone who knew him, like knows him, or a family member watching that?
Oh, no, his folks, back in Northern Ireland watching, and no, just the highs and lows, the ups and downs of his entire round, and for him to come out on top, he's probably still sleeping. Probably, probably took 12 hours of sleep last night for him. But
do you even go to bed? I mean, when do you go to bed after that? I mean, you can't.
It's just so many things about him that I like, though. It's not just his game and his beautiful swing, but his interviews. He always seems like he's candid, forthright. Mm-hmm. Doesn't give you some stock bullshit answer like Russell Wilson or something. He always gives you a great interview, and then, it's his size too. I think we know that he's 5'9", but he appears larger than life on TV. I think we'd be amazed if we actually met Rory McIlroy in person and looked at him and going, Jesus Christ, you hit it 340 in that body of yours? I know he's in good shape, but good Lord, Bryson hitting it 340, you're going, okay, I can see it.
Right.
My wife,
that makes sense.
My wife was all over him, man. She just like, oh God, he's cute. He's cute. God, I love Bryson.
DeChambeau. Well, yeah, he's an attractive man.
Cute. And then she starts doing a background check on him. I wonder is he married? Is he married? What's going on with him anyway? What's his girlfriend like? Who's his girlfriend? And then when she found out that he has a college girlfriend, that's when she kind of soured on him. She's like, oh, Bryson, come on, really?
Wait, I mean, his girlfriend is still in college?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Well, check her out. I did. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? Leave the guy alone.
He's 31, and if she's 21, I guess that
fine.
Still kind of works,
Good
doesn't
Lord.
it?
Yes, it works. Hey, the Puck to Picker Majors pool. I just want to give you an update on the leaders right now. A season-long golf contest that we're doing every major. Next up again, the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow in May, then the U.S. Open in June at Oakmont, Open Championship in July at Royal Portrush. Again, every major you pick two golfers, lowest score to par. You must pick two new golfers for every major, so no repeat picks. Again, first place is a stay-and-play package at Gamble Sands. You get one night stay, 2 rounds of golf. Second place, foursome at Fairwood Golf and Country Club. Third place, a foursome at Mill Creek Country Club. And a fourth place prize is a foursome at one of Troon's Seattle Premier Golf Courses, plus an hour top tracer. I cannot say that because I can't say top tracer range session. See? Can't do it. Top tracer
I don't have a problem with it.
Session. I can't. The R's and S's. Anyways, right now, here are your leaders after the Masters. There's a lot of people because a lot of people went with Rory and Scotty Scheffler. Lee Hudson, John Herberholtz, Chuck Zomack. I'm up there, but I'm ineligible to win. Aaron Colby, Doug McCormick, Lee Nelson, Scott McDowell, Jeff Edicus, David Green, Ed Wood, Jesse Howe, Tim O'Donnell, Brad Kirkpatrick, Jared Bentz, Ryan Campbell, Ed Geiger are all right now in first place. We got 3 more to go before we determine the winner. Puck the Picker Majors Pool, all brought to you by the way, Synthetic Turf. Synthetic Turf Northwest. You want a beautiful looking 3-hole putting green like I have in my backyard? Contact the fine folks at Synthetic Turf Northwest, syntheticturfnorthwest.com. Get rid of your lawn. Get rid of your dogs bringing in the mud, all of it. Enjoy your backyard with a putting green. You don't have to put a putting green in, but do it anyways. I want everyone to have one by next year's Masters. I'm out there making putts left and right, before the Masters, trying to calm the nerves. Yes, I was. I was draining everything, chipping in off the grass. It was beautiful. Synthetic Turf Northwest.com. The presenting sponsor for Puck to Picker Majors Pool throughout the summer. All right, it's going to be an abbreviated show today, by the way. It's spring break. My family's out of town except for my son. He's at baseball camp, so every show this week, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll wrap up at 11 o'clock because I got to pick him up from baseball camp at noon. And then I'm off Thursday, Friday. That's all. Listen, it's that or take the bus home. I was going to make him take the bus home. So let's wrap it up with this. And you're going to be here for the first time for this, and we'll make this our Mariners segment. It's Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by my good friends at Restoration One of North Seattle. It's your restoration company that lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. How about your Los Marineros? A sweep of the Rangers. 7-1. Is it 7-1 on the homestand? No, 5-1 on the homestand. Yes. 5-1 on the homestand. 500 on the season. This AL West is shitty. I'll tell you that. Shitty. They can win the shitty AL West.
They sure could. And, especially, you look back on that game that they played and they were down to the Astros 5-0, and then they scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and then, 4 in the bottom of the 8th on Rosarena's grand slam, and then come back and win it with the walk-off with 3 in the bottom of the 9th. So they go from being perhaps 4-9 to 5-8. And then to sweep the Rangers, 8-8. It was the torpedo bat, I think.
He's got 3 home runs with the damn thing. Why isn't everyone using it? 3 home runs for Cal Raleigh since switching over the torpedo bat.
Yeah, I would force everyone on the team to use it if I'm Kevin Seitzer and Edgar Martinez.
And the first one's J.P. Crawford. He should be using it right away. Everybody should be using it. I don't care.
He had a couple hits this weekend, though.
Yeah, that's true. He did. Except Polanco doesn't have to use it. And I know there's somebody that's attacking you and I in social media that we have to apologize to Polanco. We're not there yet. We'll get past the All-Star break, and then we can apologize.
What did you think of the goggles yesterday?
I love the goggles. How about him avoiding the tag at first?
Yeah.
He avoided the tag. How does that? I've never seen that before at the MLB level.
All the time, and then he's ruled out of the baseline, and
yeah.
they call him out.
By the way, it does not top what happened this Saturday. A big win. Shout out talking about baseball. Great sports this weekend. Not only the Masters. I went to the Kraken game Saturday night. That was fun. They scored like a bazillion goals in the third period. Limbach Lumber, tough losing streak, got a huge win Saturday afternoon. They were down 4-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning, Jim. They scored 3 runs to tie the ball game. Does Limbach Lumber? We go to the 7th inning, 1, 2, 3, top of the 7th inning, and we get to the bottom of the 7th inning, and we get a young Theo with his first hit of the season, and then young Theo comes around to score on when he gets to third base on a chopper to third, send him home, slides in. Limbach Lumber with a 5-4 victory to snap a 3-game losing streak. And young Theo getting the golden Limbach Lumber player of the game. What a day.
That's awesome. Congratulations to Theo. And how did young Owen Puckett react after the game?
Same old, just running around celebrating. He was good. He had a couple hits. He was having fun. The whole team needed it. They needed a win. The boys needed a win.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. To get it in that fashion.
Oh, it was great. It was fun. It was a fun day. So, so anyway, I would say back to, I don't know where I got lost, but Polanco doesn't have to use the torpedo bat. I want to get torpedo bats for Little League. See if we can do that. That would be great. But yeah, good for the M's. They're playing better baseball. It's not a good division. They're going to be right there. Wu was brilliant on Saturday. Polanco just keeps hitting. It's good to see Ben Williamson up playing now at third base. We had the scout on Friday's show. He said they should bring him up now, and then they do it 2 days later and they bring him up. And then it'll be a good series. They're going to be on the road for a while with the Reds and the Red Sox and the Blue Jays, Reds, Blue Jays, and then Red Sox, I believe. And then they should be pretty good. But it's been good. Bullpens was fantastic over the homestand. 185 earned run average. Spire looks great. This Carlos Vargas looks awesome. So all good there for the Mariners. All right. Well, they're a flawed team, but we'll appreciate the flawed team.
Well, yeah, and you got Troy Taylor, who's probably going to join the team on the road trip to add to that bullpen. And Brash looks like he's a couple weeks away, maybe early May to get him back. And Yeah, I mean, with Williamson, you need him to hit. Well, for two reasons. You need him to hit.
Yeah.
That would really help. Okay, we all know that.
Sure.
But you need him to hit so that they won't think about putting Polanco back at third base once he's healthy. So
absolutely.
if you keep Williamson there, keep Polanco as your DH, you're good to go.
Okay, that is Hey What the Puck, again, brought to you by Restoration One in North Seattle. Your restoration company lets you avoid stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com. Thanks for watching and listening today. Thank you to all our sponsors, Limback Lumber, Clean Streak, Georgetown Brewery. Check out their new Tavern beer. Synthetic Turf Northwest, and, of course, Restoration One. Today's Daily Puck Drop, you can find it up on YouTube. When you're there, please subscribe to the channel. Also find the Daily Puck Drop on all your favorite podcast platforms and, of course, up at pucksports.com. Sign up to become a Posse member, $5 a month. That's all it costs you. Or sign up for a year. You get a discount. You get all the free programming that we do, but also exclusive content as well. Latest Sports Pit episode with myself, Steve Sandmeyer, Matt Stretch Johnson is available right now up on the Pucks Posse membership page. Also, episode, I think this is 4 or 5, Dane Brugler from The Athletic. We do a complete 32-pick mock draft. We recorded it this morning, and he's got a great pick at Seattle for number 18. Check it out, all up at pucksports.com. All right, Jim. We will, I may not talk to you on Wednesday because all these shows are going to be abbreviated this week. So if we don't do a show on Wednesday, I won't see you on Friday. I'll see you a week from today.
Okay, Puck. Sounds good. Go Cougs.
Yeah, go Cougs. There he is, Jim Moore with us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right, abbreviated show today and tomorrow and Wednesday just because it's spring break. My apologies to that. And then we're off Thursday, Friday because of spring break. All right. Again, Sports Pit is up. Go listen and watch it right now if you're a Pucks Posse member. And then also coming out later today, I'll put up the Dane Brugler episode as we count down to the NFL draft. We'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, promise to be better.
No shoes, no dice.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you, but you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for?
We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!